Your neighbors filed a secret report about you. My beloved child, listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal is not coincidence, not imagination, and not rumor. It began quietly, behind curtains and closed doors, where whispers carry more weight than words spoken aloud. Your neighbors noticed patterns before you did, the unusual timing, the way doors paused open, the way conversations stopped when you entered a room. They watched, they wondered, and then they did something unexpected. A report was written. Not to accuse you, not to harm you, but to explain you. Stay till the end, because the truth behind that report changes everything you thought you knew about your place in this story. Something huge is waiting for you, and every second from now on matters more than the last. Now hear this carefully, because this is where the tension deepens. The report was not born from fear, it was born from confusion mixed with awe. Pages filled with observations. How challenges seem to rearrange themselves around you, how setbacks hesitate before touching your path, how people feel unsettled yet drawn when you pass by. They couldn't explain it, so they documented it. They listed moments when outcomes shifted after your presence, when arguments softened, when silence grew heavy with meaning. Don't skip, because buried in that report is a single sentence underlined twice, a sentence that admits something rare. That you influence the atmosphere without trying. That realization is why this report exists at all. And here is the turning point you didn't expect. The report didn't stay in their hands. It moved, quietly, carefully, because some truths refuse to stay hidden. What was written about you has begun to echo beyond those walls, drawing attention you never asked for but were always meant to receive. This is not about exposure, it's about recognition. The moment you understand why they felt compelled to write it, you'll see your past struggles differently and your future with sharper clarity. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you grasp what that secret report truly says about you, there is no going back to living small. My beloved child, the second layer of this revelation opens like a sealed envelope you never knew carried your name. When that report was finalized, something strange happened. Doubt turned into certainty. Your neighbors compared notes, timelines, and moments they could not logically connect, and every path led back to you. They didn't call you dangerous or suspicious. Instead, they used words like unexplainable, consistent, and unchanging under pressure. Stay till the end, because what they realized next is the reason your life has felt watched, guided, and interrupted at unexpected moments. Don't skip this part, this is where curiosity turns into destiny. Here is what the report quietly confirms. You are not noticed because you seek attention, you are noticed because attention follows you. They described how situations around you intensify before resolving, how tension rises and then collapses when you step away, how people reassess themselves after brief encounters with you. This unsettled them enough to document every detail, believing that if they could understand you, they could understand what was changing around them. Something huge is waiting for you in this realization. The report admits that you act like a mirror, reflecting truths others try to hide. That is why silence follows you sometimes, and respect follows you other times. Now absorb this carefully, because the weight of this truth matters. The report ends with a warning, not about you, but about ignoring you. It states that dismissing your presence leads to missed opportunities, wrong decisions, and delayed clarity. Your neighbors didn't intend to elevate you, yet that is exactly what happened when they wrote those final lines. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because understanding why others felt compelled to record your impact will change how you walk into rooms, how you speak, and how you trust your own instincts. Don't skip this awareness. Once you see yourself through that report, you begin to understand why your path has always felt different. My beloved child, something shifted the moment that report left its original place, and this is the part no one told you. Once written, it didn't just describe you, it began to confirm patterns that had been forming for years. Small events suddenly made sense. Delays that protected you. Detours that saved you. Encounters that felt random but later proved essential. The people around you sensed this alignment without understanding it, and that quiet awareness is what made the report feel heavy in their hands. Stay till the end, because this layer reveals why your life never followed ordinary timelines. Here is what the report slowly uncovers as it unfolds. You don't move through moments, you activate them. Situations seem ordinary until you arrive, and then meaning intensifies. The document records instances where decisions changed after brief conversations with you, where plans dissolved and better ones emerged without explanation. This wasn't coincidence, it was consistency. That consistency unsettled them. Don't skip this, because this is where the report stops being observation and starts becoming acknowledgement. Something huge is waiting for you in this truth. People sense purpose around you even when they can't name it, and that sense quietly reshapes their behavior. Now listen carefully to what follows, because this is the silent conclusion they reached but never said aloud. The report implies that your presence is not accidental to any place you enter. You arrive before shifts, before changes, before realizations. That is why some people resist you and others rely on you without knowing why. The document ends this section by admitting uncertainty, not about you, but about how to respond to you. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you understand that others have already noticed the weight of your presence, you stop questioning your instincts and start trusting the direction that has always been guiding you forward. My beloved child, this is the moment where the report stops describing the past and starts pointing toward what comes next. The final pages were written with hesitation, as if the writers understood they were crossing an invisible line. They noted how your presence doesn't just explain what has happened, but seems to anticipate what is about to unfold. Patterns were mapped forward instead of backward, and the conclusion unsettled them the most. You appear before turning points, not after them. Stay till the end, because this realization reframes every delay, every sudden opportunity, and every quiet inner nudge you've ever felt. What the report highlights next is subtle yet powerful. It observes that people around you change direction shortly after crossing your path, sometimes without realizing it. Conversations echo longer. Decisions feel heavier. Even silence gains meaning. The writers admitted that when you are nearby, outcomes don't remain neutral, they lean toward clarity. This isn't influence through force or words, but through presence. Something huge is waiting for you in this awareness, because the report suggests that your role is not to convince or chase, but to arrive at the right moment and let truth surface on its own. That is why some connections fade quickly while others become unshakable. And here is the quiet truth they never intended you to read. The report ends by acknowledging uncertainty about the future, not yours, but theirs. It suggests that ignoring what you represent leads to stagnation, while recognizing it invites movement and growth. They realized too late that the document was not about controlling a situation, but about witnessing one. Don't skip this understanding. When others feel compelled to document your impact, it means your life is already speaking louder than explanations. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because once you recognize why that secret report exists, you step forward with a confidence that no observation can contain. My beloved child, after the report was completed, something unexpected followed: silence. Not the empty kind, but the kind that arrives when people realize they have touched a truth larger than themselves. The writers stopped talking about you openly, yet their behavior changed. Eyes lingered longer. Words were chosen more carefully. It was as if the act of documenting you made them aware that you are not meant to be discussed casually. Stay till the end, because this silence is not absence, it is recognition forming in real time. What unfolds next is subtle but undeniable. The report begins to influence how people position themselves around you. Some draw closer, sensing alignment and possibility. Others keep distance, not from dislike, but from uncertainty they cannot resolve. The document notes this shift clearly: your presence creates choice. People must either rise to honesty or step away from it. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this pattern. It explains why certain doors close without explanation, while others open with unexpected ease. You are not losing access, you are being redirected. Now understand this final layer of Part 5, because it completes a circle. The report concludes that whatever surrounds you eventually reorganizes itself. Chaos settles, confusion clarifies, and false structures weaken. This is not something you force, it happens naturally when you remain yourself. That realization is why the report was filed away rather than shared. They understood that observing you was safer than interfering with what you carry. Stay till the end of this journey, because when you accept that your influence works quietly and inevitably, you stop waiting for permission and start moving with calm certainty into what has been preparing to meet you. My beloved child, this is where the story becomes personal in a way no report can fully capture. After everything was written and stored away, the effect did not fade, it deepened. People began to sense you before they saw you, as if the space itself adjusted in advance. The report hints at this, noting how rooms felt different just moments before you arrived. Stay till the end, because this awareness explains why you often feel a shift inside you right before important moments unfold. What the document carefully describes next is your relationship with timing. You rarely arrive too early or too late, you arrive when something is ready to change. Missed chances you once regretted were later marked in the report as avoided paths, not failures. This realization unsettled the writers most of all. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this understanding. Delays in your life have been protection, and sudden accelerations have been invitations. Nothing about your pace has been random. Now take this final message slowly, because it carries weight. The report suggests that your greatest strength is not what you do, but how you remain steady while everything else adjusts. You don't need to announce yourself or explain your purpose, your presence already does that work. This is why people remember you long after brief encounters and why some feel challenged simply standing near you. Stay till the end of this unfolding truth, because once you recognize that your calm is part of your power, you stop questioning your path and begin walking it with quiet, unshakable confidence. My beloved child, this is the part the report struggled to phrase, because language felt too small for what was happening. After observing patterns, timing, and reactions, the writers reached a moment of hesitation. They noted that even without action, your presence alone seemed to reset emotional climates. Tension softened, or in some cases, truths surfaced faster than people were ready for. Stay till the end, because this explains why your life has drawn both gratitude and resistance without you ever seeking either. What the document reveals next is subtle but powerful. People don't respond to you based on who you pretend to be, but on who you truly are. The report describes how masks fall more easily around you, how hidden intentions become visible. Some felt relief in this honesty, others discomfort. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this realization. You are not here to be liked by everyone, you are here to be real, and reality reshapes everything it touches. Now absorb this closing truth carefully. The report admits that attempts to categorize you failed completely. You did not fit expectations, roles, or predictions. Instead, you remained consistent while circumstances shifted around you. That consistency unsettled them more than chaos ever could. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you understand that your authenticity is what unsettles and awakens others, you stop shrinking yourself for comfort and start honoring the quiet force that has always moved with you. My beloved child, this is where the report turns inward, no longer focused on what you do, but on how others feel after encountering you. The writers admitted something they could not explain away: people left your presence thinking differently than they arrived. Not pressured, not persuaded, changed. The report describes a lingering effect, as if conversations with you continued long after they ended. Stay till the end, because this explains why your words echo in people's minds even when you speak gently and briefly. What follows in the document is a quiet realization that startled them. They noticed that people around you began questioning their own direction, values, and choices. Not because you challenged them directly, but because your steadiness highlighted what was unstable within them. This made some uncomfortable and others grateful. Don't skip this moment, because something huge is waiting for you in this truth. You awaken self-reflection simply by being present. That is why some people grow after knowing you, while others distance themselves without explanation. Now listen closely to how this section ends, because it reveals more about you than any observation ever could. The report concludes that your influence cannot be turned off, managed, or contained. It is not situational, it is inherent. The writers acknowledged that even if they stopped watching, stopped writing, and stopped speaking, the effect would continue. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you understand that your impact operates beyond awareness or permission, you begin to trust yourself fully. You stop asking why reactions follow you, and you start recognizing that your presence carries meaning simply because it is real. My beloved child, this is where the report reaches a quiet realization that feels almost reverent. After all the notes, patterns, and reflections, the writers acknowledged something unexpected. Your life has an inner order that doesn't depend on outside approval. They observed how you remain steady even when circumstances fluctuate, how you adapt without losing yourself. Stay till the end, because this explains why pressure never fully breaks you, it only refines you. The report admits that while others react to change, you seem to move with it, as if guided by an internal compass no one else can see. The next lines of the document focus on resilience, but not the loud kind. They notice that when situations collapse around you, you do not panic or rush to prove anything. Instead, you pause, observe, and then act with clarity. This unsettled them, because it suggested confidence without arrogance and strength without force. Something huge is waiting for you in this understanding. Your calm is not passive, it is deliberate. It signals to the world that you trust timing more than noise, and truth more than urgency. That is why outcomes near you tend to resolve rather than explode. In the final notes of this section, the report makes a subtle admission. It states that people often project their fears or hopes onto you because you represent possibility. You remind them, without saying a word, that stability exists even in uncertain seasons. That realization changed how they viewed their own lives more than how they viewed yours. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because once you recognize that others see steadiness in you even when you feel unsure, you stop underestimating your influence. You begin to understand that your presence reassures, challenges, and inspires simply by remaining true, and that is a power few ever learn to carry. My beloved child, this part of the report is written with unusual care, as if the writers knew they were stepping onto sacred ground. They observed that when attention turned away from you, events still aligned in your favor. Not immediately, not loudly, but inevitably. This detail puzzled them the most, because it meant your progress was not dependent on validation or visibility. Stay till the end, because this explains why even when you feel overlooked, something continues to move quietly on your behalf. The document then highlights a pattern of unseen preparation. It notes how opportunities often appear after periods of stillness, how clarity follows moments of doubt. To an outside observer, these shifts looked sudden, but the report reveals they were forming long before they surfaced. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this truth. What you are becoming has been rehearsed in silence. Every pause, every unanswered question, every delay was shaping you for what could not arrive too early. The final lines of this section make a calm but powerful statement. They conclude that your journey cannot be rushed by pressure or stalled by neglect. It unfolds at its own pace, guided by principles deeper than circumstance. This realization humbled the writers more than it described you. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you accept that your path is protected by timing you don't control but can trust, you stop chasing signs and start recognizing them when they appear naturally in front of you. My beloved child, this section of the report carries a different tone, almost like a quiet confession. The writers acknowledged that watching you changed the way they watched themselves. They began to question their own reactions, their own choices, their own motives. Your consistency made inconsistency around you more visible. Stay till the end, because this explains why some people seem uneasy near you while others feel unexpectedly safe. Your presence does not judge, but it reveals. The document then notes something subtle yet powerful: you do not compete for space, yet space is made for you. Conversations pause. Attention settles. Even when you say little, people listen differently. This unsettled the observers because it could not be traced to status, volume, or effort. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this realization. Authority does not always announce itself. Sometimes it arrives quietly and rearranges the room without asking permission. The closing lines of this part admit a final truth they could not ignore. You influence direction simply by remaining aligned with yourself. The report suggests that people either adjust their course after encountering you or feel compelled to justify why they won't. That is not your responsibility, yet it happens naturally. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because once you understand that your steadiness invites honesty from others, you stop explaining yourself. You move forward knowing that being grounded is not something you prove, it is something others feel the moment you arrive. My beloved child, this part of the report reads less like observation and more like acceptance. The writers recognized that no amount of watching could change what they were witnessing. You were not reacting to the environment was responding to you. This realization shifted their focus from trying to understand you to learning how to respond to your presence. Stay till the end, because this explains why situations around you often resolve once you decide to move forward. The document then reflects on how resistance fades in your wake. Not instantly, but gradually, as if truth settles when you stop forcing it. People who once doubted you began to soften, not because they were convinced, but because certainty formed on its own. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this understanding. Your patience disarms opposition more effectively than argument ever could. Time works with you, not against you. In the final notes of this section, the report acknowledges a quiet inevitability. It states that once you commit to a direction, circumstances begin to rearrange themselves to meet you there. This isn't luck, it's alignment. That admission closes the page with humility rather than conclusion. Stay till the end of this journey, because when you realize that your decisions activate movement beyond your sight, you stop hesitating. You begin choosing with confidence, knowing that clarity follows commitment and your path responds when you do. My beloved child, this section of the report carries an unexpected stillness, as if the writers paused often while composing it. They admitted that after long observation, nothing about you felt forced or rushed. Even when pressure surrounded you, your energy remained measured and intentional. Stay till the end, because this explains why chaos rarely pulls you off course. It simply moves around you. Your steadiness becomes an anchor others unconsciously rely on. The document then describes a shift in perception. Instead of asking what you were doing, the writers began asking why your presence brought clarity. They noted how confusion faded faster when you were involved, how decisions felt lighter yet more certain. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this realization. Clarity follows you not because you demand it, but because you embody it. People sense that alignment and trust it, even when they can't explain why. In the closing lines, the report states something quietly profound. It suggests that your role is not to control outcomes, but to hold space until truth reveals itself. That is why patience has always been your ally. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because once you recognize that your calm creates room for resolution, you stop pushing against resistance. You begin to understand that your presence alone invites order, and that is why your path continues to open, naturally, steadily, and without force. My beloved child, this part of the report reflects a realization that arrived slowly, then all at once. The writers noticed that whenever you withdrew your attention, situations revealed their true shape. What seemed important lost weight, and what truly mattered rose to the surface. Stay till the end, because this explains why stepping back has never meant losing ground for you, it has meant gaining clarity. Your absence, at times, speaks as powerfully as your presence. The document then acknowledges how you influence direction without instruction. People often adjust their plans after interacting with you, not because you advised them, but because something aligned within them. This unsettled the observers more than any visible action. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this understanding. You activate insight rather than obedience. That is why genuine growth follows you, while control never does. In its final lines, this section makes a quiet but decisive statement. It says that your impact cannot be measured by immediate results, because it unfolds over time. Seeds are planted, perspectives shift, and later, often much later, change becomes visible. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you realize that your influence matures beyond the moment, you stop needing proof. You move forward trusting that what you carry continues to work, even when you are no longer in the room. My beloved child, this section of the report feels different, as though the writers finally stopped resisting what they were seeing. They acknowledged that your path does not mirror anyone else's, and every attempt to compare you to familiar patterns failed. When they stopped measuring you against others, understanding began to form. Stay till the end, because this explains why advice meant for everyone else rarely fits you. Your journey requires its own language. The document then reflects on how you remain unchanged by praise or doubt. Compliments don't inflate you, and criticism doesn't diminish you. This neutrality unsettled the observers, because it revealed a center that cannot be easily moved. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this realization. Your strength comes from self-trust, not approval. That is why you recover quickly, recalibrate calmly, and continue forward without resentment. In the closing lines of this part, the report makes a final acknowledgement. It states that your presence reminds others of who they could be, not through pressure, but through example. That reminder is powerful, and not everyone is ready for it. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because once you understand that your authenticity challenges and inspires at the same time, you stop trying to fit expectations. You walk on knowing your path was never meant to blend in. It was meant to stand quietly, confidently, and unmistakably on its own. My beloved child, this part of the report opens with an admission the writers hesitated to make. They realized that watching you required honesty from them, and honesty was uncomfortable. Your consistency exposed shortcuts, compromises, and distractions they had learned to ignore. Stay till the end, because this explains why your presence sometimes creates distance without conflict. Truth does that. It clarifies without noise. The document then describes how environments subtly reorganize when you are involved. Conversations become purposeful, actions more deliberate, intentions harder to disguise. This wasn't something you enforced, it emerged naturally. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this understanding. You raise standards without speaking about standards. People sense what is required simply by being near you. In the final lines of this section, the report acknowledges a quiet inevitability. It states that your path cannot be altered by manipulation or misunderstanding. Attempts to redirect you only strengthen your alignment. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you accept that your direction is resilient, you stop defending it. You move forward calmly, knowing that clarity protects you better than explanation ever could. My beloved child, this section of the report carries a tone of surrender rather than analysis. The writers accepted that no matter how closely they observed, you remained internally guided. External pressure did not bend you, and uncertainty did not scatter you. Stay till the end, because this explains why confusion around you eventually dissolves. You do not rush clarity, you allow it to arrive, and when it does, it stays. The document then reflects on something they could no longer deny. You have a way of closing cycles without confrontation. Situations simply complete themselves around you. People either step into alignment or quietly step away. There is no dramatic ending, only resolution. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this realization. Endings in your life are not losses, they are completions. That is why you rarely carry regret for long. You understand when something has served its purpose. In the final notes of this part, the report makes a calm but powerful statement. It says that your future does not depend on correction, approval, or explanation. It depends on continuation. As long as you remain honest with yourself, movement is guaranteed. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because once you realize that your role is simply to keep moving forward with integrity, you stop fearing pauses and transitions. You understand that every step, seen or unseen, is already leading you exactly where you are meant to arrive. My beloved child, this part of the report feels like a deep breath taken after a long understanding. The writers notice that once you make peace with a decision, uncertainty around it fades for everyone involved. Your inner clarity seems to ripple outward, calming questions and silencing doubt. Stay till the end, because this explains why situations often settle once you commit. Your certainty doesn't dominate, it reassures. The document then highlights a subtle pattern they finally recognized. You do not chase outcomes, outcomes move toward you when alignment is present. Effort still exists, but struggle lessens. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this truth. Ease enters your life not because things are simple, but because you move in harmony with what fits you. That harmony reduces resistance others constantly fight. In the closing lines of this section, the report acknowledges something quietly profound. It states that your influence works even in absence. Decisions made with you in mind continue to unfold correctly long after you step away. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you understand that your impact extends beyond proximity, you stop clinging to control. You trust that what you set in motion with honesty continues to move forward, carrying your intention where you no longer need to be present. My beloved child, this section of the report carries a tone of quiet respect. The writers observe that your confidence does not come from certainty about outcomes, but from trust in process. Even when results were unclear, you moved without panic. Stay till the end, because this explains why pressure rarely derails you. You are not driven by fear of failure, but by confidence that whatever unfolds will teach you what you need next. The document then notes how people often misjudge your silence. They assume hesitation, when in reality it is discernment. You wait not because you are unsure, but because you are listening. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this realization. Your pauses are strategic, not accidental. They protect you from rushing into paths that look promising but lack depth. In the final lines of this part, the report acknowledges that your presence encourages patience in others, even when they don't understand why. They slow down around you, reflect more carefully, and act with intention. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because once you recognize that your quiet approach steadies not only you but those around you, you stop doubting your rhythm. You move forward knowing that your way of progressing is not slower, it is wiser. My beloved child, this part of the report reads like a final recalibration. The writers noticed that over time, their focus shifted away from predicting your next move and toward understanding their own reactions to it. You were no longer the variable, they were. Stay till the end, because this explains why people eventually stop trying to control outcomes around you. Your steadiness makes manipulation feel unnecessary and ineffective. The document then records a subtle but powerful shift. Those who once questioned your direction began to trust it, even without explanation. Not blind trust, but recognition born from repeated accuracy. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you in this truth. Consistency earns confidence more deeply than persuasion ever could. Your track record speaks quietly, but it speaks clearly. In the closing lines of this section, the report accepts a simple conclusion. You are not here to be managed, redirected, or contained. You are here to continue as you are, present, aware, and aligned. Stay till the end of this journey, because once you accept that your role is to remain true rather than impressive, you move forward without resistance. What follows you now is not suspicion or doubt, but quiet expectation of things aligning exactly when they should. My beloved child, this part of the report feels like a closing circle rather than a conclusion. The writers recognized that everything they observed led back to a single truth: you move with an inner agreement that does not fracture under pressure. Even when circumstances attempted to pull you in different directions, you remained whole. Stay till the end, because this explains why confusion around you eventually resolves itself. Wholeness has gravity. It draws clarity without effort. The document then reflects on a moment they all shared but never discussed openly. They realized that your presence reduced excess noise, excess emotion, excess complication. Around you, things simplified. What mattered stayed. What didn't quietly faded. Something huge is waiting for you in this realization. You don't add weight to situations, you remove it. That is why people feel lighter after crossing your path, even when difficult decisions must be made. You bring focus where there was clutter. In the final notes of this section, the report offers its most honest statement. It says that your life cannot be understood from the outside alone. Observation reaches its limit with you. To truly understand your impact, one would have to live with the same integrity, patience, and self-trust you carry daily. Stay till the end of this unfolding story, because once you accept that your path is self-validating, you stop waiting for recognition. You continue forward knowing that the quiet alignment within you is not only enough, it is exactly why everything keeps falling into place. My beloved child, this is where the report ends, not with answers, but with acceptance. The writers closed the file knowing that no final conclusion could capture you. Every attempt to summarize led them back to the same understanding: you are not a moment to be analyzed, but a process in motion. Stay till the end, because this explains why your story never feels finished. Growth continues, even when chapters appear complete. The document's last reflection is simple and powerful. It states that wherever you go next, balance follows. Not because everything becomes easy, but because you bring alignment with you. Conflict loses intensity, confusion loses direction, and purpose becomes clearer. Something huge is waiting for you in this truth. You don't need to search for meaning. It emerges around you naturally. Your presence organizes what once felt scattered. The final line of the report was written slowly, then underlined once, and never revised. It reads that the greatest mistake would be to underestimate you, not because of what you might do, but because of who you already are. With that, the file was closed. Stay till the end of your own journey with confidence, because when others stop observing and start accepting, it means your path is no longer questioned. It is trusted.